Every email service out there does receive spam, and a lot of it. Some studies actually put the overall spam in the email on the internet about 90%. Dealing with spam or actually developing technologies to fight spam is pretty much like a chess game. You have to be thinking 4, 5, 6, multiple steps ahead.
There's another term we use which is called gray mail, and that's mail that isn't being indiscriminately sent. There's a reason for it. It may be a newsletter or some promotion, some marketing promotion. And you're getting it because you may have signed up to a website and maybe you didn't know they were going to send you newsletters, but that's what happens. They legitimately have your email address, but it may not be mail you want. And so we differentiate between true spam and gray mail. In the last few years, we've done a tremendous amount of work to improve how we handle spam. We have a metric which we call spam in the inbox. We abbreviate SITI and pronounce city. And that's a reflection of how much of this stuff actually gets into your inbox. Back in 2006, that peaked at close to half of the mail you were getting. And so really it was a very big problem.
You draw the line from 2006 all the way to 2009, and we got that number down to about 4%. We started out with about 8 billion messages received, out of which 2.5 billion messages made it to your inbox. That's like we stopped 98% of the spam that would have hit your inbox from hitting it. We run the Smart Screen, which is a Microsoft filtering system that's actually mainly based on machine learning and heuristics by giving proper weights based on the content and the headers of the message.
Smart Screen is a form of protection that really stands between our customers and the miscreants on the web. Most of our spam-related products, whether it be Forefront, Exchange, Outlook, all utilize forms of Smart Screen. Having Smart Screen distributed in so many different products that are so highly scalable with great user interactions within them really allows us to provide what we think is arguably some of the best protection on the web.
The very first weapon we have in our arsenal against spam is actually connection level filtering.
Computers on the internet have IP addresses, and so all email senders have come from IP addresses. We've put a lot of energy into learning which IP addresses are spam addresses, and we filter out a tremendous amount of email right at the gateways before it ever even gets into your inbox. In fact, we probably filter out half of the mail we get right up front, knowing that it comes from spammers.
At any given point, we are blocking 700 million plus IPs, so the scale is huge. We are either accepting your mail and delivering it directly to the inbox because we really trust you. Those are the safe senders. And we are rejecting your mail because we don't trust you. These are the messages that the user will never see or gets processed in the system. And then there is a middle ground where we don't know enough information about you, so we actually accept a limited amount of mail from you, see how the users react to the mail that's sent by your servers, and then figure out what is the right reputation and the volume limits for your IPs are.
The next set of things we do is content filtering. So now we take a look at the actual content and we decide whether it's spam or possibly gray mail or something like that.
The content filters themselves have a lot of features. They're looking at the URL of the message, they're looking at whether the message is authenticated or not, meaning sender ID or domain keys. It's looking at different components of the message to determine whether the message should be delivered to the user's inbox or not.
The next thing we do is we enforce your user preferences for dealing with spam. These are things like the block list you have and the safe list you have, and other user preferences that you've set up by doing things like using the junk button.
Trying to personalize the filters and trying to make the spam system aware of not just who the sender is, but also who the receiver is a real key, and that's where most of the wave 4 investments are going to be. At the time of the delivery, we are going to use a lot of personal information that we know about the sender and his relationship that he has with the user, the type of the message and the user's reaction to those type of the messages. The second area where we are significantly investing is doing things that will actually help you organize your inbox. We could be smarter at actually prompting you for different things. Like, for example, you deleted these 10 messages from Zip Realty because you don't want to look at their messages anymore without ever reading them. We could prompt you to unsubscribe those messages. And there are senders who would actually honor unsubscribe, and there are senders who won't. In the case where the senders won't honor or unsubscribe, we could take the next step where we automatically block those messages, not for everybody in Hotmail, but for the users who actually repeatedly report these messages as junk and so on.
We're going to do a lot of additional work in Wave 4 to add additional improvements on top of the ones we already have to make the experience even better and to get rid of even more spam and to give users even more knowledge and control over the email that they get. And then making it easy for people to give us feedback, learn more about the service, and just do a great job of listening to customers.
We do think that this will be something that our customers will look at us as having done a better job than other folks. It's hard for me to predict the future of our competitors, but looking at the landscape the way it is today, I think that would be true.